If the truth was hidden in plain sight, would you be brave enough to find it? My mom thinks she's a saint for saving us from my father. Dad has been locked away for 3 years now. A crime of passion, they called it. A bar fight that went south. But my dad, he doesn't even drink. The day the judge hammered that gavel, my mom didn't cry. Not even once. Instead, she came home and started clearing out his closet before the ink on the sentencing was even dry. And then, there was Mark. Mark moved in 2 weeks later. He's the new man of the house, apparently. He's got this smile. You know the one? It's too wide. It never quite reaches his eyes. He calls me sport and tries to buy my affection with video games and takeout. But when mom isn't looking, his face changes. He'll stand in the hallway at night, just staring at my bedroom door. No blinking, no moving, just watching. Mom says I'm being difficult. She says I'm just traumatized and that Mark is a godsend. But here's the thing she doesn't know. I still talk to my dad. Not through the prison phones. Mark monitors those. Not through letters. Mom burns anything with a return address from the county jail. No. We use the old shortwave radio in the attic, the one Dad taught me how to fix when I was 10. Every Tuesday at exactly midnight, I crawl past the creaky floorboard in the hall, sneak into the insulation smelling dark of the attic, and put on the headset. Static. Static. And then there he is. Hey, kiddo, he whispers. His voice sounds like gravel and heartbreak, but it's him. Last night, the static was heavy. Dad sounded urgent. He told me to look under the floorboards near the chimney. He said he'd left something there, something he'd been working on before the accident happened. My heart was thumping against my ribs so hard I thought Mark would hear it from downstairs. I pried up the wood with a screwdriver, my fingers shaking, and I found it, a digital recorder and a folder of photos. I hit play. The audio was muffled, but unmistakable. It was a recording from the night of the fight. I heard the bar noise, the clinking of glasses, and then Mark's voice. He wasn't a stranger. He didn't just happen to meet my mom at a grief support group. On the tape, he was laughing. He was telling someone, "It's done. The husband's taking the fall. Now we just wait for the insurance to clear." My blood turned to ice. I heard a floorboard creak behind me, not the one in the hall, the one inside the attic. I turned my head, slowly. Mark was standing in the shadows of the rafters. He wasn't smiling anymore. He held a heavy flashlight in one hand, tapping it against his palm. Thump, thump, thump. "You just couldn't leave it alone, could you, sport?" he said. His voice was calm, way too calm. He stepped into the light, and I saw his eyes. They were cold, dead, like a shark's. He told me mom was out getting groceries. He told me accidents happen in old houses all the time. Faulty wiring, a trip down the stairs, a tragic fire. He started walking toward me, slow, deliberate. I backed up against the chimney, clutching the recorder to my chest. My headset was still on. I could hear the static. And then I heard my dad's voice again. "Kiddo, you still there? Kiddo, answer me." Mark reached out his hand. "Give me the tape, and maybe, just maybe, I'll let you pick which boarding school you go to." I looked at the radio. I looked at the man who had stolen my father's life. And then I did the only thing I could. I didn't hand it over. I didn't scream for my mom. I looked Mark right in those dead eyes. And I hit the broadcast button on the radio. "Dad," I whispered, my voice echoing through the speakers in the prison comms room. And hopefully, through the recording device, I'd secretly linked to the local police scanner Dad told me about. "Mark is here, and he just admitted it. He's the one." Mark lunged. The flashlight swung. I ducked. And the sound of sirens began to wail in the distance, cutting through the quiet suburban night like a blade. My mom thinks she saved us, but she's about to find out. The monster wasn't behind bars. He was sitting at our dinner table, and now it's my turn to hammer the gavel.